It is said if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium protection additive did just that in a head-to-head test against one of the country's leading brands of conventional motor oil, put into battle in the engines of some of the toughest test vehicles on the planet, New York City taxis. The proof: torn down engines and data from a battery of independent tests. Cameras were there for every step, bolt, part, and measurement. The result: dramatic proof of superior wear protection for Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium, the oil that's taxi tested tough. Let's take a closer look. First, the taxis. New 2011 Crown Victorias with curb weight topping 2 tons. The engine, a Ford 4.6-liter V8. 8 new cabs were pulled from a New York fleet. 4 ran on Kendall, 4 on a leading conventional brand. Drain intervals were set at 10,000 miles, longer than the normal drain interval, and almost 3 times more than Ford's recommendation for severe service. The oils. In one corner, a leading brand of conventional 5W20 GF5 oil. In the other, Kendall GT1 synthetic blend with its exclusive liquid titanium protection additive. Also 5W20, also GF5. The factory fill oil was drained and the new oils were poured in. Samples were taken every 5,000 miles. Oils and filters were changed every 10,000 miles until each test car reached 100,000. Then engines were pulled and sent to a lab to be torn down. Now the fun stuff, the teardown. First up, a leading brand of conventional oil.
Today we're going to disassemble 2 Ford 4.6-liter V8 engines. All right, let's tear this baby down.
There are a number of engine parts that provide a strong visual comparison. The front cover, valve cover, and pistons. These and other parts were set aside for rating and measurement. Following the same steps, the Kendall engine was torn down.
We're going to disassemble this engine. It ran 100,000 miles in a New York City cab. It ran on 5W20 Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium.
Again, the key visual markers: front cover,
That's what a good oil looks like.
valve cover,
Wow, look how clean that looks.
pistons. As each part was removed from the Kendall engine, something interesting happened in the lab. Technicians, who tear down hundreds of engines a year and thousands over their careers, stopped. They stared at something they'd rarely seen. Parts that looked almost brand new emerging from a 100,000-mile engine.
There's another 100,000 left in this one, isn't there?
But seeing alone is not rating, measuring, and weighing. That's when the teardown gets down to the proof. The proof started with visual rating. To be clear, the leading brand oil rated high. It's just that Kendall's overall formulation and liquid titanium protection additive kept parts significantly cleaner. A fact that proved itself after tearing down more engines, equally divided between Kendall and the leading brand oil.
There's basically nothing here. It's almost as if it's a new part, a clean part that's just been cleaned. The only way I would know it's not is because of that. That is the road grime.
Next, we dug into the numbers, starting with used oil analysis. There are several ways to measure wear. Used oil analysis looks for iron in the oil. Iron is a sign of wear on critical parts that can lead to engine damage and impair engine efficiency. Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium was 30% better than the leading brand in controlling the wear iron. 30% is great, but the bigger question: where did that wear come from? The answer? In the roller follower pins. After exacting measurements of roller follower pin wear, Kendall outperformed the leading brand oil in wear protection by an amazing 63%. 63%. As one amazed researcher said, "I've never seen results like this." The challenge: Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium, going head-to-head with one of the leading brands of conventional motor oil. The test? Some of the toughest driving conditions imaginable. 8 cabs, 100,000 miles each. Drain intervals were pushed. Engines were torn down. Parts were rated and measured. Data was compiled. The result? Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium outperformed a leading conventional brand oil in wear protection by an incredible 63%. That's 63%. What does this mean? By minimizing wear, Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium helps prevent engine damage, helping cars maintain performance. Kendall helps maintain engine efficiency, saving gasoline. Kendall helps you get the most out of your car. Whether you're commuting in stop-and-go traffic, driving in extreme hot or cold, hauling a heavy load, or just running errands. The proof didn't come out of some lab. It came out of the mean streets of New York City. From the oil that's taxi-tested tough. Kendall GT1 with liquid titanium protection additive in synthetic blend, high mileage, and full synthetic formulations. Part of a full line of oils engineered with a single thought in mind. Long live the engine. Get Kendall. In fact, get it faster than a New York minute.
We love engines. We love small engines, big engines, and all engines in between. We love getting our hands dirty fixing them and tweaking them. We love the sound they make and the way they look and the way they make others look. We love where they can take you and how quickly they can take you there. We love that they let us bring home the bacon or the corn or wheat. Some people love car engines or motorcycle engines or boat or tractor or trucks, but we just love engines. That's why we've spent the last 70 plus years protecting them. With over 30,000 types of filters globally, engines are what make us go. Go engines.
What are you doing here?
Good, you're home. We're out of those little sausages.
How did you guys get in here?
The key was under the mat.
Look, Larry, this isn't easy on us either, but apparently somebody doesn't want us in their car engine anymore.
What are you talking about?
The Wix filter, Lawrence.
Ah, that filter's a big bully.
Tell dirt, dust, and grime they aren't welcome anymore in your car. Wix filters collect 45% more of the stuff that can kill an engine.
Hi, I'm Joe with Peak Performance. Today, we're going to change the coolant, which is also antifreeze. It's pretty straightforward, just a few simple steps. Really, anybody can learn how to do it. Start by making sure that the car's been off for a while and that your engine is cool. Remove the radiator cap by pressing down and turning it. You are releasing the pressure in the cooling system. Okay, you're going to have to get at the drain valve. So you have to determine if you need to raise the car up to get underneath. If you do, you can use a jack and jack stance. Never get under a car that is held up only by a jack. So, raise the car up with the jack, then set it on at least 2 jack stands. Always use jack stands. After all, it is your head. You can also use drive-up ramps with rear wheel chocks. Open the drain valve, and coolant will begin to flow into the drain pan. While the radiator is draining, it's a good time to check the hoses and clamps of your heating and cooling system. Replace any cracked or worn out hoses and any rusty or loose clamps. Note how much fluid comes out of the radiator. That's how much fresh coolant you'll have to put in later on. Let all the coolant drain out, then close the valve. Carefully pour the used coolant into a container that meets regulations for safe disposal in your area. Then set it aside to dispose of later. All right, the next step is to flush your radiator and cooling system. You're going to need a garden hose and your drain pan. With the drain valve closed, fill the radiator until it's full. Okay, that's enough. Hey, turn it off. Now, let's drain it again. Repeat the process until the water is clear with no coolant or rust visible. This might take a couple of flushes. Plain water will remove sediment from your radiator, but to get to the rust and scales of your engine and your hoses, use Peak Super Cleaner and Flush. When you use this, be sure to follow the directions on the bottle and also your vehicle manufacturer's instructions. All this flush fluid must be disposed of the same way you did the coolant. If there's room in the container, you can add it to the coolant you already drained. When the drain water is clear, close the drain valve and lower the car. Now, you can move on to the next step, adding a fresh coolant water mixture. So, the coolant needs to be mixed with water for optimum performance. Normally, a 50-50 mix will give you antifreeze protection down to minus 34 degrees Fahrenheit. That's minus 36 Celsius. And boil over coolant protection up to 265 degrees, 129 degrees Celsius. In colder climates, you'll need lower temperature protection, so a mix of up to 70% antifreeze can be used. Regular water will do the trick, but you really should use distilled water to refill the system. Now, distilled water doesn't contain minerals which can dissolve and cause deposits and scales in your cooling system. Here's how you do a 50-50 mix. Your radiator is now empty, so start by filling it halfway with Peak Long Life Antifreeze. You probably can't see where halfway is on the radiator, so you need to estimate the amount of coolant you add based on the amount of fluid you drained out earlier. Add half this amount of coolant to the radiator. Then add an equal amount of distilled water and you'll have a 50-50 mixture. Then fill the half-empty coolant container with distilled water. This gives you a 50-50 mix in both the radiator and the container. Now you can fill the radiator the rest of the way with the 50-50 mix and save the rest for your next flush and fill. In a tightly sealed container, this Peak Long Life 50-50 mixture will be good for 5 years or 150,000 miles. If you don't want to mix your own, try Peak's convenient pre-diluted 50-50 mix, which is also great for topping off. For extra protection, use Peak Performance Radiator Anti-Rust Sealer and Protector, which helps prevent rust and corrosion and stop leaks. Next, we'll bleed the car's cooling system to remove any pockets of air. Leaving the radiator cap off to avoid pressure buildup, start your engine. You're going to let it run for about 15 minutes in a well-ventilated area until it reaches operating temperature. Turn on the heater and set it to hot. This circulates the coolant and any air that might be in the system, the radiator core and hoses. Now check the amount of fluid in the radiator. It may have gone down a bit. This is because you are releasing air that was trapped in the system, leaving more room for your coolant mixture. As the air bleeds out, you may get spitting or bubbling from the fill opening, but be careful, the coolant might be hot. Next, turn the car off and allow the engine to cool. Check the effectiveness of the coolant with a Peak antifreeze tester. Add more coolant or water as needed. Don't forget to check the coolant reservoir and fill it to the line with your 50-50 mix. To replace the radiator pressure cap, press down while you turn the cap. This is important. Make absolutely sure the cap is tight. Now, congratulations are in order because you are done. All right, just to recap. We made sure the engine was cool, carefully took off the cap, released the pressure, drained the coolant, and put it into a proper disposal container. We flushed the system, and once the fluid ran clear, we refilled the radiator with the 50-50 mix of Peak Performance antifreeze and distilled water. We left the radiator cap off and ran the engine to bleed the system to get rid of any air pockets and check the amount of fluid in the system. We let the engine cool, tested the antifreeze, added some if needed, replaced the cap, and we were done. By using Peak Long Life, you're good for 5 years or 150,000 miles. And that's all there is to it. Be sure to check us out at peakauto.com. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I'm Joe from Peak Performance. Thanks for watching.
Timmy, how's it going?
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers.
Strangers? I remember bringing you home from the hospital. He was a cute baby.
Timmy, pal, we've been in the minivan the whole time, till Daddy put the Wix filters in. Since then,
Since then, we've been living like animals. Timmy, you must speak to your father.
Evict dirt, dust, and grime from your car's engine.
Hush, old woman! Timmy needs a space!
Wix Filters captures 45% more bad stuff,
Parents.
keeping your car around longer.
Yeah, I've seen this guy. It's a killer. He paints a picture with the tires. It's awesome.
When tough grease builds up, ordinary cleaners can't cut it. The job calls for something more. Fight back with Spray 9's heavy-duty degreasers. Whether it's ready-to-use grease-off or concentrated earth soap, these hard-hitting formulas cut grease fast. They're ideal for household, automotive, industrial, institutional, food service, and military government markets. Grease-Off heavy-duty degreaser was created in 1988 with one purpose in mind: to blast away the toughest grease and grime. This revolutionary product combines water-based cleaning technology with superior non-solvent grease cutting. Grease-Off has been recognized for its effectiveness, safety, and reduced environmental impact. This ready-to-use formula hits hard and fast when other products fail. The result is a top-performing heavy-duty degreaser that is biodegradable and non-flammable, yet very powerful. Grease-Off is perfect for removing dirt, grease, lubricants, oil, and grime, and it contains no petroleum solvents, abrasives, or fumes, yet has a mild, pleasant fragrance. Grease-Off blasts away the heaviest grease on engines, parts, and machinery, saving time and effort. And don't forget to keep your tools clean. Whether it's in the garage or on the job, Grease-Off does the work for you. Watch as Grease-Off makes dirt cry on this workshop wall. The top-rated formula digs in and quickly powers off the toughest soils. Grease-Off provides the same great results on dirty doors, greasy workbenches, and other hard-to-clean surfaces. And it lifts grease and spills off floors in no time. Grease-Off is great for toolboxes, outdoor equipment, and anywhere else with heavy grease. It's even strong enough for food service professionals, removing grease from exhaust vents, collection trays, and refrigeration coils. Grease-Off is also approved for use in food processing plants on non-food contact surfaces. Not only is Grease-Off a powerful degreaser for commercial industrial markets, it even outperforms most everyday household cleaners. Use Grease-Off to remove the toughest soils around the house, for spills left behind, or even gobs of grease. It all comes clean with Grease-Off. Grease-Off, the fast-acting, heavy-duty degreaser. Just ask our customers. When the grease gets tough, the tough grab Grease-Off. Ask for Grease-Off wherever Spray 9 Cleaner Disinfectant is sold. Need a concentrated degreaser? Try Spray 9's Earth Soap, a water-based cleaner, degreaser, and parts washer that replaces harsh solvent chemicals. Earth Soap's non-solvent formula is safer for you and the environment. It's non-flammable, non-carcinogenic, non-corrosive, and VOC compliant. Earth Soap's power is derived in part from natural bio-based ingredients. This biodegradable formula is a perfect fit for industrial, institutional, military, government, and household automotive use. Earth Soap concentrate can be diluted for money-saving economy. For many applications, just 6 ounces makes a gallon of cleaning solution. Earth Soap can be applied through a spray bottle, whether it's full strength or diluted. The hard-hitting formula cuts through dirt, grease, carbon, oil, adhesives, soot, smoke, and stains. And for dirty floors, nothing gets the job done like Earth Soap. Just use a mop and bucket or apply with an automatic floor scrubber. Earth Soap's low foaming formula can also be used in pressure washers for cleaning large areas. Just dilute according to directions and you're ready to go. It's even great for washing vehicles and heavy equipment. Earth Soap is also perfect for parts washing. The low emulsifying formula helps separate soil from solution, making the product last longer. Unlike most competitors, Earth Soap also contains corrosion inhibitors, so it's safe for cleaning parts with no corrosion or damage to the equipment or the parts. Earth Soap can also be used for industrial automotive applications and at manufacturing facilities. It's great for replacing mineral spirits, methyl ethyl ketone, and high pH degreasers. Unlike corrosive cleaners with a pH above 13, Earth Soap Concentrate has a pH of just 9.8. Spray 9's Earth Soap. Its powerful performance helps make solvent-based degreasers a thing of the past. For the toughest heavy-duty degreasing applications, trust Grease Off and Earth Soap. They provide unmatched performance for fast results with less effort.
How do you define quality? Does it have a look, a shape, a size? At Wix Filters, quality isn't just an abstract standard. It's right there, in the blueprint of everything we do, everything we are, everywhere we are.
Our vision statement is to be the best filtration company with the best people in the world. Our people stay with us year after year. I've been here for 23 years.
19 years.
11 years.
16 years.
14 years.
31 years.
34 years.
9 years.
44 years service.
8 años.
22 years.
6 largos.
13 years.
I've been with the company 38 years.
And it starts from a phone call from customers and the way we handle folks in the customer service side, all the way through the production of the filtration products that we make, through the packaging and the delivery. It's key for us.
At our Allen plant in Gastonia, North Carolina, you'll find quality wherever you look, and that's by design. From engineering to production to the final shipment, everyone is working with the same goal in mind: absolute quality for 100% customer satisfaction. Before it goes on the line, each Wix filter is designed and tested to the most exacting standards in the industry.
What we do in engineering is that we design, develop, prototype, and test all product before we launch them into the manufacturing. And we're looking to get a higher capacity than the product that's the original part, as well as a higher efficiency. We have a full test lab capable of performing tests on air filters, oil filters, cabin air filters, fuel filters, and all of the tests that we do would conform to the ISO standards or the SAE standards. Quality.
Jakost. La calidad.
Quality starts right here.
Once the testing is complete, the filter is ready for production. We select the materials, create the dyes, and begin the process with plenty of quality measures along the way.
We have the blueprints available real time on the shop floor, so the employees at any time can pull up and verify the product they're running to make sure they're running to the proper specifications. So that we can also verify each part and each product that we run to make sure that it's running correctly. The division quality manual kind of keeps all the facilities doing the same things, and the requirements are the same. And we're tied, of course, to the TS requirements and ISO requirements, and we're registered with both of those. So those are important ways to make sure that we're on the leading edge of what's happening.
If we do have an issue at one of our plants, my job is to support them, to work with the plant, to work with the customers, to work with the suppliers, to resolve those as quickly as we can, so that we get to consistency from plant to plant across the world. We will put a cross-functional team in place. That cross-functional team would probably be engineering as well as manufacturing, could be purchasing, certainly the quality group, and from time to time, if it's a supplier issue, we'll have our supplier in as part of that team. And a lot of times, as a result of this, we come out with some really innovative and best practice ideas that we're able to share with our other plants. So it's really been good for us. Quality starts right here.
Right here.
Right here.
Quality starts right here.
Once the filter is completed and packaged, it has one final stop in its quality journey before it reaches the customer: the Master Distribution Center.
We manage over 1 million filters a day, and that's incoming, outbound, that's all the transactions that take place in between. Essentially, we are the first-line customer in a manner of speaking, because we're going to see the product very much in the same way that our end customer will. So we are looking at the packaging, we are looking at the product in and of itself to ensure that it's perfect.
International standards are increasingly important as we continue to open new facilities around the world. It's up to us to ensure quality in locations separated by hundreds and sometimes thousands of miles. But our strategy is simple. We won't open a new facility unless it fits our model for quality.
Whether we expand through acquisitions, joint ventures, or greenfielding, the main things we look for and have to have is trust with the people we deal with, a good working environment, and of course quality is most important.
We now have operations in Eastern Europe, in Poland, in the Ukraine. We have operations in China, operations in Mexico, obviously the United States, and Venezuela, and Brazil. And we're able to bring these products together competitively priced with very consistent global standards.
I started my career back in Venezuela 10 years ago as a process engineer. Eventually, I was offered the opportunity to continue my training as a process engineer over here in the United States. I found it was pretty easy to adapt to this new environment because the processes and the quality were the same. Quality is paramount in the company, and as engineers, if we find a problem, we wouldn't leave the process until everything is running fine and up to standards.
Quality starts right here.
Right here.
Right here.
Quality starts right here.
Maintaining a consistent level of quality across the globe is a challenge. But as we can see at our facility in Gostin, Poland, quality means the same thing in any language.
The quality is the most important element in our business. Quality does not accept excuse. We are proud of our Filtron facility. You know, our workers are really fantastic. I love them. There is many reasons that they are good. They never stop developing their skills. They are very knowledgeable people everywhere. This is in offices and on the production side.
We have received many awards for our quality. For example, Polish Business Quality Awards and Q1 Quality Award from Ford Motor Company. Every production line has a lot of checkpoints where we verified each filter's elements, like threads, like covers, like seals, so we assure that our ready product is very good and is according with our requirements and our customer requirements.
We use the same standards for testing raw materials. We use the same standard for testing ready goods as they use in the United States. So the procedures are the same. The main requirements for the raw materials are the same. So the standard, the quality is the same.
At the end of the day, in facilities thousands of miles apart, the results are the same. A Wix filter is a quality filter, all the way down the line. And where does it all start?
Quality starts right here.
Right here.
Tutaj. Right here.
Jakość zaczyna się tutaj.
Right here.
Right here.
Quality starts right here.
Quality.
Jakość.
Right here.
La calidad. Jakość zaczyna się tutaj.
Quality.
Właśnie tutaj.
Nuestra calidad empieza aquí.
Right here.
Jakość zaczyna się tutaj.
Quality starts right here.
Miners trust the makers of peak antifreeze to protect their 600-ton ore haulers from extreme conditions. You can trust Peak Antifreeze's unique formula to help protect your engine from costly repairs. Peak Antifreeze. Protect your ride, no matter what you drive.
Peak Antifreeze. When you peak, you win.